Alright, let's do this. Let's find out how people died. I was in a loading screen actually earlier, and one of the hints things or info things was about 111, Vault 11. Hoping I don't get in trouble for that. The last video's thumbnail. Mm-hmm. Admin. Oh, it's so nice being able to just swap that with a hotkey. Alright, so let's get the rest of this floor. Freeloaders. Oh, dang. Mini nukes? Where's my item description? Tell me about these. A 25mm grenade that explodes on impact. Watch out for shrapnel. Cool. Wait a minute, this is supposed to be admin. Why does... Why are all the... Why is there nukes in admin? Oops. Yeah, this is... Wait, is it? Wait. I saw a door that said admin, right? Oh. Okay. Never mind. I thought this was the admin office. Security terminal. This place is... Deposition. Excerpt from the deposition of the defendant Catherine Stone by Vault Attorney Gerard Miles. Question. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. Kate. Answer. Catherine. Question. Sorry, right, Catherine. I keep forgetting. A. My husband. Or answer. My husband called me Kate. Question. You were telling of a discussion you allegedly had with Roy Gottlieb of the Justice Block? Answer. Not allegedly. Had. We've been through this. Question. It's still just your word against his, Miss Stone, but please, the discussion... Answer. Sighs. He said my husband's name had come up in their meetings. Question. The candidate endorsement meetings? Answer. Yes, they were going to endorse him. He wouldn't say why, but I know my husband had a regular poker game with some of them, and he'd been on a winning streak lately. Question. And according to you, what did Mr. Gottlieb offer? Answer. He said he could sway his block, prevent the endorsement, but only if I... Question. Only if you what, Catherine? Answer. Only if I... Question. Only if you perform sexual favors? Answer. Yes. Ooh. Question. Was this just for Mr. Gottlieb? Answer. No, all the block leadership. They're friends. Question. And you agreed? Answer. What else could I do? They had majority. Question. How long did this go on before the endorsements came out? Answer. I don't know. A month maybe? Question. And when they came out and your husband was endorsed despite your supposed agreement, what was that when you decided to kill members of the block? Answer. Yes. I thought their majority is pretty slim. If I thin things out a little, especially in leadership, someone else might get elected. Question. assuming you weren't caught. Answer, no, Mr. Miles, I expected to be caught. That was my best chance. Now they'll elect me. Question, a confessed murderer? You think voters would be willing to risk putting you in charge? Answer, they have to pick someone and live with their reasons. Question, yes, but... Answer, wait and see. So, okay. So one of the vault parties basically blackmailed Kate Stone into sex in exchange for getting her husband taken off the ballot for overseer. But then they didn't follow through with that, and then she murdered them with the intent of being caught so that she could be elected overseer. Okay. Okay. Christine's Circle of Steel recon armor. Ooh. Nice. And I think, yeah, in this overseer order, you can see that she was elected overseer. Okay. Okay. So it was all for revenge. And then she used her power as overseer to change the voting system so it was no longer voting parties, but instead a randomly generated number to assign someone as overseer. Pugilism Illustrated. Where'd that at? A picture book for pugilists, since it's hard to read when your brains are mush. My unarmed is already at max. I don't know why I actually fucking read that. Alright, is there any notes or anything? I'll take all these vault suits. We can turn them in at the strip and gain reputation. Easiest way to gain reputation with any faction. Just turn in whatever they're looking for. Caesar's Legion wants NCR dog tags. NCR wants Legion ears. The Legion ears you actually have to kill people for, so that might not be the best. Well, I guess you could do it stealthily, but the NCR dog tags, you can actually just pickpocket them. Yep. That's right. Personal terminal. Alright, it's not rigged. What we got? I want a mod where if you're going through this and like clicking the parentheses and the first one that pops up is the allowances replenished, I want the mod to just make it so your character just screams out, "Oh, come the fuck on," or something like that. I think that would be funny. Security recording. We get to listen to stuff.
She can't do this. It's done. We're done. Nothing's done. She's got the authority. The only thing she can't do is change her own fate. Nothing says she can't change the selection process for future overseers. I say she can't. You shouldn't have toyed with her like that, Roy. We still have the majority. We don't vote for anything anymore. I'm not talking about voting. What then? You want to have a sit-in? A hunger strike? Not exactly. Maybe march into her office with torches and pitchforks? Yes. Come on. I mean it. What? Start a revolution? Laws don't outlast their governments. Roy, all we have to do is wait until someone from Justice Block gets picked for overseer. Then we have them change the law back. There won't be any blocks after the new overseer is picked tomorrow. Everyone's going to move on. By the time we've reformed, who knows if we'll still be in the majority? We can hold the block together. You don't know that. Besides, what if the computer picks you? What if it picks me? And your solution is to start shooting? Not if we don't have to. Look, we arm up. We go to the lower floors, take some strategic targets. Power, food, water. Just until she turns authority over to us. The other blocks won't support it. They're tired of us having the power. We have the majority. We don't need them. This isn't a vote, Roy. They'll fight back. They've never had the nerve. Hell of a way to test it.
Okay, so that was Roy, the guy that was blackmailing Kate. And so, like, he's upset that she's removing the whole voting system with that whole random number generator. So his plan now is to, like, have a revolution to try to remove her from power and reinstate the voting system. Because, like, his party would have majority, or at least it used to. So they would always win the election for basically protecting their members. So I'm kind of lost. Let's see. All right, we came from here. We went down here. This just runs around. It's a dead end there. How many fucking rows are? Wait a minute. Okay, it's the other side of that room. I'm getting fucking confused. This is Roy's terminal, right? There's only one terminal in here. Right? Okay. Alright, so let's go to the lower levels, which were down here, which is also, I guess, where the overseer's office is. Oh, tripwire. Alright, so caved in there. Nanobionic weave. Okay. Requires password. Okay. Is this the way we came in? Yeah, okay. Atrium. What's this? Alright, so is this where... I see like barricades and stuff. I'm guessing Roy's party decided to take over this section. Man, how far does this place go? Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I can't see where water begins. Like, I can very faintly see it. I noticed that when we were in Vault 3. Reactor. We have that water breathing implant, that's why we're safe. Alright, this leads up that other stairs we saw. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Atrium. Nice work, Eddie. Prepared speech of Gus Olson, Ombudsman for the annual Overseer election. This password is found shamefully close to its creator's computer terminal. Hey, you're not wrong. If you write your fucking password down on a sticky note and put it underneath your keyboard, you fucking deserve everything you have coming. Alright. Good afternoon. Each year it is the appointed task of the Ombudsman not only to officiate the election, but to chronicle it in hopes that after the last Overseer has finished his term and walked to his death in the chamber beneath his office, and the vault has become still, that one day some excavator from humanity, or perhaps some yet unknown race of super beings, might find our records and incorporate them into historical canon. But lately it's occurred to me that that's not really why. I think the real reason we do it is because we want to believe that somewhere in the archives there's an answer to all of this, or perhaps there will be one when historical records are completed and the whole story is told. We want it to make sense, to understand why the vault's mainframe will kill us if we do not offer one of our own as a yearly sacrifice. To fully comprehend why we continue to have these elections, despite the unfettered corruption that has plagued it for what must be decades by now, there was a simpler time when elections meant shaking hands and kissing babies. But now, with the rise of the voting blocks and this infestation of bribery, drug trafficking, smuggling, and God knows what else, we want to know why. Well, I've been through the archives, and I can tell you, you won't find the answer there. You'll find an account of the first Overseer, who entered the vault as the only citizen aware of the sacrifices that would have to take place, but he didn't have the answers either. If he did, surely he would have foreseen the citizens' anger when he broke the news. Surely he would have guessed that they would want to choose a sacrifice democratically, in the way that we citizens are accustomed to washing our hands of terrible deeds, and that his name would be at the top of the polls, and that the simultaneous vacancy of overseer and martyr would forever fuse the two positions here in Vault 11. But he didn't. He had the answers no more than any of us, and the records state that after the citizens discovered that the sacrificial chamber's password was his wife Betty's first name, and its door was unsealed so he could be offered as the first sacrifice, he walked down into that room crying like a child. I can only wonder if there are no answers to be found, and we are just going along with this because we don't see another choice. Nevertheless, I still hold on to hope that we can find one. I urge you all to take the journey I took to remember that it wasn't so long ago that we were ruled by our civility and our dignity, and that those were times when we didn't have to be quite so ashamed. Thank you. Okay. So the reason no one wants to be overseer is you become a martyr, a sacrifice, in order to keep the is it the vault's mainframe from killing everyone? Atrium. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay. Yeah, that's just the same thing I just read, so. Okay, so that gave us the password for the vault's terminal. We haven't been to the cafeteria. Okay, so they took up positions here as well. Probably to prevent people from getting food. Nope. I wanted to pick up a cup, but... Okay then. Ooh, that was a close one. Oh, Jesus. Did I set that off, or did the mantis set that off? Oh, God. Oh, we didn't even fucking quick save. Son of a bitch. Fuck you. Yep, hit the tripwire and everything. Disarm that. Password's Betty, but fuck me. Alright, you fucking mantises. Rats, whatever. Go fuck yourself. Differential pressure control. Oh. That's the thing we were looking for. Well, let's find out what happened in Vault 11, though. Did we not come through here this way? I take a sip of my trusty Vault 13 canteen while I'm underwater. Okay. Fuck. This whole place is full of traps. Fuck. What the hell was that? Alright, we're quick saving. Utility. This is the way we came. Yes, I believe so. I believe, from when I lived in Connecticut, that the praying mantis is the state's, what was it, official insect or whatever. I was told that's why you're not supposed to kill them. Even if it does something to piss you off. I don't know. Someone should Google it. Fuck you. Fuck you. Quick save. Fuck you. Fuck you. Disarm. Fuck you. Disarm. Stealing all the vault's food. Don't know why you keep flour in a freezer, but okay. Alright, to the atrium. I had to ask myself for a second, are you dead? And I realized it doesn't matter, I'll shoot you anyway. Cool, we already read that. Overseer's Terminal. Effective immediately, yeah. Random number generator. Open the sacrificial chamber. Womp, 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 womp. Dun dun. We'll be back.